Thank you. So, as a poet, I was enamored by the opening statement from one speaker who said, "You are not the drop in the ocean, you are the ocean in the drop." How beautiful is that? And on that note, in my poem yesterday, I highlighted the significance of channeling into your roots, your identity to overcome challenges. So today we have another day action-packed with great learnings. I'll go through the agenda for today briefly, and when the speakers come, I will introduce their topics. I will ask them to introduce their topics, to talk about what they're doing, and to provide the key relevant points in their area. So, in order of appearance, today we're going to listen to hear from our special guests. The first one is Dr. Madeline Gomez, who is going to be followed by Bobby D'Souza, who will speak on positive mindset. We will also have Professor Raj Kumar Singh, who will speak on adversity quotient. Following, we'll have Dr. Beatrice Dupois, who speaks on when things go on an unpredictable way. We have a special performance today from our musician, Gosa, which will be a lovely highlight for us. And then he's going to be followed by Michelle James, who will speak to us on job search workshop and some opportunities around jobs finding. That's followed by Dipshika Trapari, who will speak on youthful ways to find unconditional love. We have Ms. Tariro Kutadza, who is also a special guest. Then we'll have a quiz, and the moderator for this quiz is Loretta Chitope. Other special guest, who's also my co-host today, is Monga Mukasa, who is followed by Tolly Papadoulos, who will speak on the topic, You're Not Alone. He is then followed by David Nabori, and then we have, may I please ask you to mute yourselves, please, in the background. He's also followed by Edwin Gitau, and then we'll have a question and answer session where I'll encourage you to please write your questions in the chat box, which is being monitored throughout the session today. And that's followed by a session from Amaz Zayon, and then closing remarks will be from Tony Neal. So that's an amazing day full of actions that we're going to be learning, full of learnings, and full of tools for our Mindset Toolbox. Thanks, Monga. We'll go to the next one. And before we jump into that, I just want to give you some notices there. We're going to have lots of speeches. Like I said, we'll have a keynote speech, and there's a quiz and competition, which Loretta is going to be talking through. We'll have a question and answer session. So when you've got your questions, please feel free to type them in and just mention who you're addressing the questions to. We'll have, I just want you to know that GMHA will have a workplace course registration, which is online. So please just jump onto our website at the end of the session. And there's also going to be a special general meeting from GMHA. The information will be made clear later. On the 15th of March to the 19th, there's going to be a job search skills and recruitment workshop. Please watch our, go onto our website, the GMHA website, and see more information about that. We also have opportunities for membership with GMHA and also volunteers opportunities. Yesterday, we had a presentation from someone from Zanzino, and please go onto our website, thegymhabalance.com, and find more information. I just want to remind you that there are fortnightly Facebook Live shows on the GMHA Facebook page. And there's going to be a feedback form on SurveyMonkey. I think that's already been posted on the chat box. Please have a look at that. I will remind you to complete that towards the end of the session. After the musical presentation, we're going to have a group snapshot. So at that point, I will remind you and ask those who do not wish to be part of the photo to just mute your video. And there are certificates of participation upon request, which you can just email Jude if you want access to. All right, then Tony Neal, the chairperson of GIMHA, will have the closing remarks for the day. So, like I said, lots of action happening today. Just to acknowledge our partnering organizations, Wellbeing Health Retreats, Zinzino, PB Global Advisory LLC, Women and AIDS Support Network, New Hope Foundation, Center for Peace, Advocacy and Sustainable Development. The speaker spoke to us yesterday. Confidence and self-esteem.com, that's from Katinda, who was there yesterday as well. Oz Career Coach, Wheels of Hope, Rising Foundation, Dr. Naz, Inner Wellness, David Nabore Foundation, who will be speaking to us today, Peace Society of Kenya, and the Mandate Health Empowerment Initiative. So just a special acknowledgement, today wouldn't have been successful without the support and the collaboration from these partnering organizations. So sincere and just warm gratitudes and acknowledgements. All right. Okay, so those are the organizations, Monga, that's fantastic. And just again, to Jude introduced GIMHA yesterday, just to encourage you to please go jump onto our Facebook page, follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram. We have many exciting opportunities and events happening that you can see from following us on social media. So we look forward to seeing you, following us, and just learning more about us. All right. And I'm Chipo, I'm a speech pathologist, and I'm also a poet. So I'm really excited to be sharing today with you. Thank you very much. And I really appreciate you spending tonight or this morning with us and learning. So without much more delay, I just want to introduce our first guest speaker, and that's Dr. Madeline Gomez. Please jump in. Thank you.
Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. I just want to say thank you to Professor Jude for everything and his dedication, passion, and commitment to his course. It is absolutely an honor to be part of this course that one person puts together and is so passionate about. I also want to thank Tony Neal for what the organization does. And I'm very honored to be here, and I want to thank all of you for what you do, because success can only happen when we channel energy into the same direction for a collective success at the end of the day. So a brief introduction to me. I believe in the power within. Because I've been there, I experienced it, and that is what catapulted me into success. So I'm a doctor in metaphysical science. I'm a pranic energy healer. I'm a former director of a top 10 company that developed unemployed truck drivers and created winning workforces for major companies in Durban for 20 years. I've studied mindset, quantum physics, anything to do with the inner architecture of the human mind, the human body, and how we are put together and what brings forth our behavior and our beliefs and the outcomes that we achieve. So having said that, it's quite a mouthful and I can carry on for an hour about that. But what I want to get to, it is not the degrees and accolades that's important to me. That's not nice to have as a reward for the effort that put in, and it's seen and appreciated. But if it wasn't for my mindset, I would never have achieved that. I come from a background of domestic abuse. I come from a background of very mediocre circumstances and mindsets around me. And I had to make the decision that I am not my circumstances, and I am not what the examples had shown to me around me. I am not going to become like that. According to society's measures, And according to society's judgments, the way I grew up, I should never have been successful. I should never have been a doctor in metaphysics. I never finished school, although I never finished or never stopped learning. So I'm passionate about the mindset because I experience it myself, and I know if it wasn't for my mindset, I would not be where I am now. I have seen it in the truck drivers that were unemployed that I actually developed in from 1994, way before mindset became a fashion word, way before it became the norm in the industry. I wrote programs because I realized when I sat around the table and spoke to them about why are they unemployed, I realized it's all about their self-worth. They didn't believe in themselves. They allowed other people to abuse them, to use their skills at a very low pay because they didn't believe in themselves. So I believe if you do not believe in yourself, somebody else will see your gifts and use it to catapult themselves into success. So I wrote programs to start to develop them from the inside out, build their self-confidence, build their self-esteem, change their mindset from being their circumstances into the future. Who do they want to become and what did they want to achieve? And that created winning workforces for major companies and led to takeovers of major company staff, which I eventually managed, paid, and did everything for them. So I hit a spot in my life at the peak of my success where I had to deal with huge emotional trauma that my company got targeted by a crime syndicate and it became too dangerous for me to stay. And I had to move away from my house and my company with no financial backup for the safety of my son and myself. This threw me into the dark night of my soul. For 6 years, I went through turmoil, through bitterness, through hatred, through judgment, and all the negative emotions that you can think of. And I had every reason to do that. I believe I've been put down, that I've gone through that path to experience it, to see the results that your mind have on your body and on your outcomes. And I nurtured those negativities until one day when I realized, where am I going? I'm at the crossroad. And it came to me that I have a choice. I can either climb this bit out and go and teach what I've learned and help others, or I can go deeper, which I had not much deeper to go, and it would just destroy me. And I decided to climb the pit out. So what I want to share with you is the tools that I use, that I actually wrote a program about, and I'm busy writing a book about it, to help, that helped me tremendously. And through the most amazing metaphysical experiences, I've gone deeper than the studies that's out there at the moment to understand what influence our mind and our outcomes. But I don't want to go too deep into that. I want to share the tools that I use that brought me back to life. The first one is resistance. Let go of all resistance. Our human mind is programmed to be, we are in favor of negativity because we've been brought up like that. We always see the worst in a situation. We always expect the worst, and we do not like change. We like to be where we are. Although it's not working anymore, we think it's better than the change that's knocking on the door. The minute we let go of resistance and we surrender, the most amazing door opens in front of us and gives us the golden opportunities that we were waiting for. But as long as we're in resistance, we will never ever see the golden door of opportunity because we resist that door. And that is what change is about. I believe the world currently is in this change. It's in a reset. And we have the golden opportunity to reset ourselves, reset our beliefs, examine who we are, and recreate who we are and who we want to become. And how do we do that? We merge our wisdom from the past and create a new future for ourselves. We tend to repeat the past. Therefore, we get the same results over and over. But when we let go of resistance and we examine what's not working for us anymore in our mindset, and we turn that into wisdom, we merge that into our future. So then you can catapult yourself into success with wisdom, and you don't need to repeat the cycle again. The next level is, once you've gained this wisdom and you understand what your past actually gave you as a gift, and stop focusing on the negativity, the circumstances, and your pain, and you start to create the gain out of that, you can create a new future for yourself, because literally you're creating a new you. And therefore you can create a new future and you step into your future. But to support that, and this is where people forget, and what they forget to do, is when you change and when you transform yourself and your life, you need to align your emotional IQ, your spiritual IQ, your business, your relationships, and your behavior with your new self. Now, people start to create the new self, but they go into default in their old thinking, in their old emotional IQ of reacting instead of acting. They forget about the spiritual side of themselves, which is the pillar of our inner strength and wisdom. And they just want new results, which doesn't come forth. So if you do not work on your self-esteem to support your new beliefs and the new you will fail, because your self-esteem needs new boundaries, and your self-esteem feeds your voice that you speak with. So the more you feed your self-esteem and start to build a healthy self-esteem, the more you speak through your authentic voice, and people cannot stop listening to you when you speak, because you speak wisdom that touch lives. When you increase your emotional IQ, your spiritual IQ, and you start to grow, you obviously start to expand your heart. There can be no growth without an expansion of your heart, because what we do is we close up our heart with a wall due to our experiences and disappointments and hurts. And we harbor those wounds in those walls, and we don't want to trust people again or allow them to come into our space. And we think the heart space is the right space to protect us, but it's not. It's cutting us off from humanity. It's cutting us off from good friendships. It's cutting us off from support. Your self-esteem is the place that protects you, because that is where your boundaries are, not your heart. Your heart cuts you off from compassion, from feeling, and we don't need that. We've got enough of that. If we want to change the world, we need to start to expand our hearts. We need to show compassion. We need to show love, unconditional love, without judging each other. And then we will receive it back, and we will create more of that. And through your self-esteem and your heart, you start to create your authentic voice. Because your authentic voice is your truth that you speak. Because there you speak your values. You create instant trust when you speak to people, and they want to listen to what you have to say. And then second to last is start to trust your intuition. This is your built-in compass. We're born with it. It's a gift from God, but we've never been taught to use it, to trust it, and to apply it in our lives. We rather go to somebody else and ask them for their opinion instead of listening to our inner voice. That's a built-in protection for us, free to use, never ever been activated. Start to learn to use your intuition, because it is there to guide you and to protect you. When I didn't trust my intuition, I failed. All my failures, I can literally draw a line back to my intuition, warned me many, many times, and I didn't listen. I had this little voice telling me, not that friendship, don't trust this guy, especially in business. And that is how I ended up at the forefront of a crime syndicate. because the guy befriended me. My intuition told me don't. But after 3 months, I thought, well, what's a coffee? And that was the end to my end. So intuition is everything. And lastly, start to feed your spiritual body, because that is your inner pillar, your inner light that shines to the world. It feeds your mindset, your beliefs, your behavior, the action that you take, and all outcomes. I don't I don't mind or care what religion you belong to. It's got nothing to do with that. It is feeding your soul. It's reconnecting to whoever you believe in, whoever is your source. And if do things, have gratitude and become a part of a group or create a routine for yourself where you feed your inner architecture through your spiritual body, through your connection to God or to source. And I found that these tools helped me through my most difficult times to really find myself, redefine my values, find out who I am, change my mindset, and take me to the next step and next level of my life. And I believe it's applicable to everybody today. We are in reset. All I want to say is your power comes from within. It's not coming from without. So if you can tap into your inner resources, you will be fine. And we will be the change makers that creates a new future for everybody. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Madeline. That was powerful. And what resonated with me was the need to feed your spiritual body. Thank you. So I'll just remind, thank you. I'll remind the other speakers, as soon as you see your name in the order as they appear, please just jump in. So thank you. Next is Bobby D'Souza. Thank you, Madeline. Hello, Bobby, are you here? All right. If Bobby is not yet here, I will ask Professor Raj Kumar to speak, and then we'll come back to Bobby.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Namaste from India. I'm Professor Rajkumar Singh, and I would like to express my gratitude to Professor Jude for his kind invitation to me. And I'm very glad to get associated with this Global Youth Mental Health Awareness. It's an international conference on finding the mindset tool to overcome the challenges. Today, I will have my deliberation on the adversity quotient. Before going through that, I've just got one data, which is very, fearful data, that globally, the current data of 2020, around 8 lakh youths, people die from suicide. And this has given a very big question mark on us, that why, being a human, we are facing such kind of problem. It is immaterial of the fact what caste they are having, what creed they are having, what religion they are having, what region they are having, what nationality they are having, what color they are having. This is the problem of the youth. And when we try to understand this entire phenomena, the psychological dimensions, in our entire system, we have focused more and more upon the IQ part, the intelligence quotient part, how much the IQ of a person is. But we have ignored the adversity quotient. See, in our life, the phases are never same. It is having ups and down, ups and down, ups and down. And we must have that adversity quotient, which measures the ability of a person to deal with adversity in their life. Because this is one of the probable indicator of one's ability to combat the adverse circumstances in life. Because you need to predict, you need to have a mental stress, because mental stress is a very common thing. How we are coping with this mental stress, our perseverance, our longevity with the thoughts and process the mental status, our learning, and our response to change in the environment. Because environment is changing, and with that change in the environment, as the old saying of the Charles Darwin, that survival of the fittest. Fittest means the person who is able to adapt with that environment. See, we always used to teach our youth that, being a professor, I also do the same thing, that how to get success in life. But we never teach, when you face failure, how to face the failure. How to become success, everybody is teaching. How to face failure, nobody is teaching. And this is what actually required, because youths are looking towards us. I'm a professor, my responsibility is this. And when we talk about the your adversity quotient, we need to take care of the combination of our spiritual quotient and the emotional quotient. Because see, uh, in one of the ancient Indian texts, you must have heard about the name Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This has been mentioned by the Lord Krishna, that there is a term which is being used, is the sthir pragya. Sthir pragya means an stable emotional balance. Anybody should be having a stable emotional balance. What happens when we get success? We get so much excited, but when we get a failure, we start weeping, we start disturbing ourselves. We need to have an emotional balance. There is another saying, I would like to translate in English also, that labh hani jivan marana yash apayash vidya, means labh hani, the profit and the loss, jivan maran, the birth and the death, yash apayash, name and fame and defame, all are in the hands of God. We just teach ourselves that we are the children of God. What is being done? The God has created some situation for us. That's why we burn. That's why we die. That's why we are having profit. That's why we are having a loss. That's why we get name, and that's why we are defamed also. But we don't surrender ourselves towards the Almighty. We think that we are creators. We are having a master plan. But actually, you are having a plan. The master plan is in the hand of God. So we need to understand that phenomena, that in AQ and EQ and SQ, we need to minus the IQ. We don't need to have much emphasis on the IQ part. We need to develop that emotional quotient. We need to develop the spiritual quotient, and that's why we can have that need of this adversity quotient. Actually, this is the journey of from intelligence to the wisdom. Adversity quotient means what? You need to develop that wisdom, and that's why you need a level where you are actually self-actualized. We start thinking that, okay, whatever we have done, it's okay. Now we need to have a broader outlook, and we need to think toward the humanity instead of thinking towards the nationality, the religion, caste, colors, and all these things. So how to develop that? First, see it. Means acknowledge the change is needed. You cannot deny that. Several times what happens, we don't acknowledge that. We acknowledge it, because see, why dinosaur has lost their existence? Because they were not having the ability to acknowledge that they need to change. Because human were having that ability, and that's why they have survived. Own it. Take ownership of the situation. That okay, whatever situation is there, we have to accept that okay, this is the situation, and solve it. Try to solve it. Develop your action plan, and do it. This is the way the adversity quotients can be developed. So just start by doing what is necessary, what is important, then do what is possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. So first you start with what is essential, then whatever possible is with you can do, because beyond that you cannot do the things. And see, the small steps make a big difference. Because success, what success is, actually we are facing that problem, that what success is. Success is a relative phenomena. What may be your success, it is not that it is my success. Whatever my success, it is not necessary that it is your success. So success is to be measured in a relative terms, not so much by the position that one has reached in life, as by the obstacle which he has overcome. How many obstacles you have overcome is your success. See, in a boxing ring, you are not defeated when you fallen down. You are defeated when you don't stand up. This is on you, that how much you stand up. This is the adversity quotient which you have to define. The only thing that overcome hard luck is the hard work. Remember that. Hard luck may be there, but you can overcome with the hard work. And this is how you face the adversity. Because you always be in the mind that your own resolution to success is more important than any other one thing. You need to resolve that, okay, I have to get success, because success is what? It is the 99% failure. It is a 99% failure which makes you success, because every successful journey is full of the failure. Every successful people you see the entire world, they are suffering with the failure. They have suffered with the failures, and ultimately they become successful, because you need to turn your wounds into the wisdom. Turning the wounds into wisdom is a great task for any adversity situation. That success seems to be largely a matter of hanging on after others have let go, because there is no education like adversity. Whatever you learn in the adversity, you cannot learn all these things in any school, any college, any degree. And I cannot change the direction of the wind, because it is not in my control. But yes, I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination, because you believe you can, and you are halfway there. If opportunity does not knock your door, build a door. If you don't find a way, make your own way. Your big opportunity may be right where you are now. Just think from that this is not my end, this is my present, and future will be better. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. What you can do today, just take care of that. This is in your hand. Neither the past is in your hand, nor the future is in your hand. That's why in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Shri Krishna said that karmane vadega raste ma phaleshu kadatana. Do your job, do your work. Don't think of the result. Result is the outcome of your work. Whatever you are doing today, the result will come on tomorrow. So just I'm now finishing it. Successful people push through adversity by finding few of the things we can do in our life. Have a good sense of humor, be mentally prepared for all the adversities, and understand that your adversities offers valuable insight in you. It's a chance of learning for you. Make peace with the situation. Whatever the situation is there, be cool, be calm, and then you can face the adversity. Because you see, in a very stable water, if you throw a stone, it will have waves and you cannot see your face. So if it is stable, then only you can decide what you have to do. Embrace the adversity as a chance for your next opportunity. Where there is a threat, always there is an opportunity. And refuse to give up, because giving up is the problem. Any adversity, if it is resultant to giving up, and this is lethal, this is dangerous. I have a purpose in life, have a vision in life. If you think big, you can do a lot of things in that. So thank you very much, Professor Jude, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you very much, everyone, to listen me carefully. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Professor Raj Kumar Singh. Very powerful words indeed, and lots of actions for us to put in place there. Thank you very much. All right. So next, I think we're going to have Bobby D'Souza now. Bobby D'Souza is here now. Thank you. Welcome, Bobby. Hello, Bobby. Is he unmuted, Monga? Because in the chat box he's saying is here.
Bobby is available. Please unmute him. Unmute him.
Please unmute him, Monga. Promote him to panelist. I think he's on as an attendee on the chat box. Thank you, everyone. It's amazing how much learning we are doing today. All these powerful tools, these great brains all in one place. Amazing global village we have. And he's also requesting to have his video put on, Monga. Thank you, Monga. Can't hear you, Monga, you're muted. All right.
Sorry, I'm trying to get on hold of him.
Okay, he's on the attendees, not the panelists.
Right.
I don't have power to change him,
Right.
unfortunately.
Sorry, I'll quickly have a
It's
look.
okay. Thank you. Thank you for your patience, everyone. No.
No, I'm attending. Sorry. Give me a minute again.
Just go to the participants.
Yep. I'm at panelists now. Attendees. Sorry.
Yeah, click on attendees and just promote
Dr.
Bobby
Bobby.
first, and then everyone else. Thank you.
So allowed to talk.
Yes, just
Yes.
unmute. Yeah,
Unmute
just
him.
promote. And
Okay, hi,
invite
can you all
everyone
hear me?
else. Thank you. Thank you for your patience, Bobby. Over to you.
All right, hi. My video should show up. It isn't showing up. I think you will have to show my video as well.
All right, just give me a moment. Sorry.
No problem. In the meanwhile, thank you so much, Professor, for your wonderful message. It was definitely enlightening, and there was
Okay, I think we've lost your sound, Bobby.
okay. Can you hear me and see me now?
We can hear you. We're just not seeing you yet.
I
Okay.
can see him on the screen, so I can see him on the panelist screen. So you should be able. We should be able to see him.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Yes. Okay.
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you so much for inviting me, Jude, and for everybody who's taken such effort to organize this. I really, really appreciate this. The message I want to bring today is how do you build a positive mindset? You know, I'm the author of a book called Fallen to Rise, which is actually my story of being somebody who was once upon a time a construction laborer on the roads of Mumbai to today. Yeah. Can I request everybody to mute yourself, please? Thank you. I was once upon a time a construction laborer on the roads of Mumbai, and I come from a broken family. To today, I have had the privilege of working with more than 29,000 people live in person, doing seminars, keynotes for CEOs, for leaders, for students, and for so many organizations. One of the lessons I've learned over the years is if you cannot build a positive mindset for yourself, whether you're a youth, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a business owner, whether you're a professional or even a homemaker, if you're not able to build a positive mindset, you know, the situations around you can suck you. And one of the ways you could do that, is, I want to start by asking you a question. Have you ever hung around people, you know, who seem to be very, you know, chilled out? They were very relaxed. Even if they faced tough situations in their life, they were really, really relaxed. And I would wonder, you know, what magic do these guys have that even in the most difficult situations, you know, they're able to stay calm. And even in difficult times, they're able to smile and they're able to move forward. The question is why? This was a question that I had for many years. One day when I was delivering a session, you know, a 5 days residential program for an organization called Tata AIA, you know, Tata AIA insurance company. And we had premium insurance advisors who were attending the session. Because it was a 5-day session, every day we were having some very delicious food. We were eating great food. We were meeting, we were connecting, we were expressing. And I was the speaker over there. During one of the lunch breaks, we were having a conversation and I observed from all the participants, there was this one participant. Her name was Geeta. She was consistently smiling. She was happy. She was always the one who was most participative. And when I was sitting with one of the other participants, and I was talking about this lady called Geeta, who was in her 50s then, and I'm having a conversation saying, listen, this Geeta is an amazing person, isn't she? She's so encouraging. She's so positive. She's always smiling. The participant just stopped me. Sir, do you know her story? I said, what is her story? So do you know that 6 months back, her daughter passed away? I said, what? Well, that's right. The girl was 18 years old and she passed away. I said, seriously? Well, that's right. And a year back, her husband passed away while going to the airport. So the husband passes away a year back and experiencing the trauma, the daughter passes away as well. Now imagine that for a minute. a father passes away, a husband passes away, who's been with her for all those years, and a daughter passes away. And she enters into the conference room full of energy, full of peace, full of love, full of gratefulness. And the question I asked was, what made her change? And the message that I got from that was, it is basically she's learned how to practically build a positive mindset. And she was able to focus on the good, even in the most painful situations. And I want to ask all of you, my friends, I don't know what you're going through right now, but what are some trauma? What are some stress? What are some anxiety? What are some worries that is really putting you down? Sometimes if you're able to focus even on the good in the worst time, my friends, good things can happen. Isn't that true? So one of the things that I learned from Geeta was, if you want to build a positive mindset, number one, you got to be intentional about it. You got to be intentional about creating a joyful, positive mindset. You got to be very intentional about it. Nobody else can do that for you. Please remember, if you and I want to build a positive mindset, it is not about anybody else. You have to take your personal responsibility and say that it is my mind. I got to take care of it. It is my happiness. I got to take care of it. It is my peace. I got to take care of it. It is my body. I got to take care of it. A positive mindset is an inside matter. Isn't that true? In the chat button, why don't you write down, do you agree with what I just said? So I know that you're with me. A positive mindset is always an inside matter. Let me give you another example. There was a little bird that was just hopping around and just flying around, and it was a little tired, and then it just flew and came on a branch of a tree. It sat down on the tree and sang a beautiful song, and it was chirping and enjoying itself. And while the bird was enjoying itself, suddenly the branch started shaking, the branch started moving, and the bird was absolutely, it was just shaking. The wings were shaking because of a storm. When I looked at the bird, I said, the bird should be scared, but the bird was chilled out. The bird was relaxed. What the bird did is it quickly flapped its wings and it moved from one place and it moved to the next tree. And when that branch started shaking in the next tree, it moved to the next. One of the lessons I learned over there was, one of the reasons why the bird was not shaken, in spite of the situation being shaken, in spite of everything around the bird, moving around and shaking with the storm, the bird was not shaken. Just like COVID-19, a lot of people have been shaken because of whatever has happened because of COVID-19. But in the story, the bird was not shaken. You know why? Because the bird was not dependent on the branch or the tree or the storm. The bird was dependent on the wings that it carried with it. The bird was dependent on the experience that I have come so far flying. I have the ability, I have the strength to fly to another branch, to another opportunity, to another place, because my dependence is not on something external, but on who I really, really am deep within my very, very guts. Are you understanding, my friends? Building a positive mindset is truly an inside matter. It is not something of the outside. It is something of the inside. And when everything around you is shaken, are you able to stand still and let the storm pass by without letting your internal person get impacted? And I was recently doing a podcast interview, and in the podcast interview, one of the things I was sharing was, when you are unshakable as a person, when you are courageous, when you're inspiring as a person, when you're doing that, automatically, you become the superhero for your little 3 years old daughter, for your 5 years old boy, for your 10 years old child, for your mother, for your brother, for your sister. You become an inspiring story. Are you understanding, my friends? Somebody around you is looking for an example of somebody who would be unshakable in shakeable times. And my friends, what I would recommend you to do is build positive joyful mindset intentionally. Take personal ownership. Know that building a positive mindset is an inside matter. You cannot hold anybody else responsible. Now, the last thing that I want to share before I end is surround yourself with a positive ambience and people. Point number two. Point number one was be intentional about creating a joyful, positive mindset. Okay. Point number two is surround yourself with a positive ambience and people. Now, let me ask you a question. When you get up in the morning, what is that first thing that you hear? Do you quickly pick up your phone and look at the notification? Because there is a lot of worry inside it. There is a lot of news in it. There is a lot of information in it, which isn't going to be very helpful. When you get up in the morning, is it the phone that you touch the first? Or do you put on some beautiful, relaxing music? Do you sit down with yourself? Do you pause for a minute? Do you take a diary and just chill out so that you're able to, in a way, quieten your inner self? My friend, one of the challenges that happens is you could say that I'm a very motivated person. I'm a very unshakable person in difficult times. But the challenge is if you let the outside noise from your mobile, from the music that you hear, from the web series that you watch, from Netflix that you check, from anything, from the conversation that you're having with people, if you let that outside noise impact that courageous voice inside you, my friend, then you're going to fall down, my friend. And therefore, I would request you, when you get up first thing in the morning, do not touch your phone for 30 minutes. When you're going to sleep, do not touch your phone for 30 minutes. And in that 30 minutes, precious, quiet time, spend time with yourself. Ask yourself, what do you really, really want? Fill your mind with such motivational content. Read a book, listen to a podcast, watch a video. And I have a lot of videos. I have 120 videos and I have podcasts on Spotify. You can check that as well. It's called Bobby D'Souza Inspire. You can check it out. But there are a lot of inspiring content that are available. Watch them, listen to them. And when you're able to quieten your inner self and listen to the inner voice, my friend, then your inner voice will be more stronger than all the noises outside, my friend. And hear me out. If you have no enemy inside, the enemy outside cannot attack you. If you do not have an enemy inside, which basically means you aren't in self-doubt and fighting with yourself and, struggling with all your challenges inside, if you're able to manage your emotions really well, then automatically the enemy outside, if there are people against you, situation against you, you can easily manage your outside when your internal is sorted out. Do not let your inner voice be destroyed by voices outside. Build a positive mindset intentionally. Create an ambience of people, locations, sounds around you, which are something that can really empower you. And as a result, my friend, you will build a positive mindset. As a result, you will create a positive ambience. As a result, you will be an inspiration to a lot of people. As a result, you will get better results because when you're not very emotional, you are more logical. And when you're very logical, you're chilled out. When you're chilled out, you can think more creatively. If you're able to think creatively, you can get better results. If you're able to get better results, you are more fulfilled. I hope you got a message. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. And let's connect again on LinkedIn, Spotify, and YouTube. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Bobby. That was powerful. I'll always learn from that little bird when I'm walking past in nature. Thank you. All right. So next, I think we have Beatrice. Yeah. Beatrice, are you here? Beatrice, are you here?
You might have to unmute her, I guess.
I'll ask.
Yeah. So basically, I've been checking her on the list, but I haven't seen her name from my side.
All right, that's fantastic. May you please just promote all the attendees to panelists. Thank you. So we'll move on to Ngosa. Is Ngosa here?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much to Jim Ha. Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Ngosa. I am a Zambian student currently studying in Algeria, an engineering student. I am also a musician, so I run a platform on Facebook and on YouTube called Ngosa Music. And today I'm very excited to be sharing with you a song that is called Without Love. Now, in my own understanding, love is one of the most important virtues that you would need for you to develop a positive mindset. Okay, whenever we tie our goals to helping others, because love is basically just that. Love, others have said love is the opposite of being selfish. And so when we love, we are selfless. When we love, we tie our goals to the service of others. And once we begin to experience that love, once we begin to give out that love, it is only at that point we can develop a positive mindset. And so, called Without Love. And I hope you're going to enjoy this. And at some point in the song, I'm going to expect you guys to sing along with me. So be ready for that. Could you just confirm if you can hear me clearly so that I don't have to sing while nobody can hear me? Is my audio okay?
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Though I speak the tongues of men and even tongues of angels, but I have no love, I'm nothing but a clanging cymbal. Though I have the gift of prophecy and even understanding of the mysteries of the Almighty, I am nothing without love. Without love, the world would not go round and round, but God is love and it makes the world go round. Without love, the world would not go round and round, but God is love and it makes the world go round. See, the devil is a liar. He wants to divide and rule and send you to the east and send you to the west and make you fight. He gives you names, he gives you boundaries. Saying you're black, you're white, you're son and devil, Nigeria, no Zambian. Everybody sing God love. Without love, the world would not go round and round, but God is love and it makes the world go round. Without love, would not go round and round, but God is love and it makes the world go round. You see, God created all of us so we all could live as one, and one people as one nation. So do away with all the hatreds, where brother fights brother, nation fights nation. Hey, we all children of the same God love. Without love, the world would not go round and round, but God is love and it makes the world go round. Without love, the world would not go round and round, but God is love. You can sing along. Everybody say, ayo. Say, ayo.
Ayo.
Say, ayo.
Ayo.
Love one another. Everybody say, ayo.
Ayo.
Say, ayo.
Ayo.
Love one another. Everybody
out loud. The world not go round and round, but it's love that it makes the world go round. Without love, the world would not go round and round, but God is love and it makes the world go round. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody say, ayo.
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 Hey, ayo.
Ayo.
Love one another. Thank you.
Yay, congratulations.
That was beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much, Ngosa. Thank you. The powerful message of love. Is Beatrice here? No? Okay, that's all right. We'll move on to Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Are you here, Michelle?
Yes, Michelle is here. Michelle James.
Is she unmuted?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Michelle, over to you.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, Michelle. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Somehow I can't see myself on the camera. So can you see me?
Yes, I can see you. We can see you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right. All right. Thank you. Firstly, thank you so much. Thanks to Jude for this amazing opportunity. I'd like to also thank you, Anthony Neal, the chairman of GYMNA as well. I've just recently met Anthony, so it's been wonderful. Now, I feel very inspired for the past few minutes, just listening to our inspiring speakers. So we always learn every day, don't we? Just talking about the job search program, and I notice a lot of people probably have their own businesses here. So I must say, I'll change the way I'm talking, because I feel that a lot of people here would know a lot of people out there looking for jobs and applying for jobs and having a lot of challenges. Now, a lot of migrants and people from overseas, when they come to Australia, they normally are very, they lose their self-esteem, they lose their confidence. Why? It's because they listen to a lot of people, a lot of their friends and family members. They hear what they say, oh, it's going to be hard for you to find a job here. It's going to be so difficult. You know, you're not going to find something you want. You're not going to get into the job that you dream of. And, you know, you've got all these skills and qualifications, but you're not going to be able to get into the job. So there's a lot of negativity out there. And I must say they're from the closest people. They're usually from family members and friends talking down. So therefore, anyone who's coming from overseas, they feel very down somehow when they come here. Instead of feeling positive, they're feeling their self-esteem all of a sudden go low. Now, I've met people from Singapore, people very well educated. I'm sure people from Africa as well, been inspired by a lot of Africans. And when they come here, there's, you know, a lot of them, the self-confidence go. And it's because we hear what our family members say, we hear what our friends say, but what we don't hear, like what one of our speakers said, is our inner voice. We have to listen to our inner voice. We have to speak to ourselves that we can do it. You know, it's all about confidence and believing in yourself, having that self-awareness. So this job search program, I'd like to thank you, Jimha, for partnering up with AusCareer Coach to hold this important job program for the multicultural communities and the young people out there who is so much in need, who are so much in need of our help and support. So has business owners, has authors out there, you know, a lot of you are, if you can sponsor some of these students, some international students, some people who are interested in coming to Australia to work and to know about what employers are looking for. So what are employers looking for? Now, a lot of job applicants, when they apply for jobs, they don't know what employers are looking for. It's all about what the job applicant want to say in the resume. I want to put good, hardworking, a good team player. It's really general, where it's all now, it's gone out of fashion. So 3-5 years ago, these words just don't mean much anymore. So although the job advertisement saying that we want this, we want somebody who's hardworking, we want someone who's a great team player, but writing the resume is not about just writing, I'm a great team player, I'm a great communicator. How do you prove that? How do you prove that you're a great communicator? So it's all about expressing in your resume, but no flowery language. This job search program is all about coaching and mentoring these job applicants and telling them the secrets. So the big word here is secrets about what are employers looking for and what are the recruitment companies looking for. So AusCareer Coach, we are a one-stop shop. We offer career coaching and mentoring. We offer job search training. We are connected with registered training organizations who have, who are very passionate in helping these trainers. They're extremely qualified. They're very passionate in helping international students and overseas people to get qualified, to get educated, get qualified, and get employment. So this is what AusCareer Coach is about. We focus on getting people educated, we're focused in getting people qualified, and we're focused in getting people to secure interviews and to get employment. So it's very important because we are very passionate about this. And there are so many things the job applicants need to know. So thank you so much. Now, please register with Jim has got the registration link and Maurice has shared that. So for those who registered today, you're in a chance to win an interview with an award-winning company. So that's very exciting. And we have a lineup of community leaders who will be talking. So it wouldn't be myself, only myself. I'm the trainer and facilitator. And we've got Anthony Neal, the chairman of JIMHA, to open up the event. So it's a 5-day program, 7:30 to 9:30 Melbourne time. So work out your time zone and just lock it in, 15th to the 19th of March. So signing off here, Michelle from AusCareer Coach. And thank you so much, Chipotri, for the introduction. You look lovely. I love your red here. Yeah, we're all matching. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michelle. That was fantastic. So that's a great opportunity, everyone. Please look out for that link in the chat box. And remember to express how you have demonstrated those skills. Thank you very much, Michelle. Is Deepshika here?
Yes.
Welcome. Welcome. Over
Thank
to you.
you. Thank you. I can't switch on my video actually. So will you please help me out?
Okay, Monga will do that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Monga. All right, I think. You with us? Where are you speaking to us from today, Deepshika?
Yeah. Now, Am I audible? And am I
Fantastic. There
visible?
you are. Over to you. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. So hello, everyone. It really feels great to be here and interacting with you all. Really feels great. And I know you have been amazing sessions from yesterday. So it's just hope you have amazing experience with this also. So let's move ahead with our next topic. Youthful ways to find unconditional love. So at some point, all of us just need that unconditional love. We have that strong desire inside us. Oh God, just give us this. But actually, what is unconditional love? What is it? We never thought about it. Just sit comfortably and think about it. Basically, we can say that unconditional love is to love someone no matter what life throws at us. And in more simple terms, we can say that unconditional love is true love. Now, question becomes, what is true love? It is caring about another person's happiness without demanding for any benefits for themselves. So basically, the simplest possible way we can express it, just accept another person and respect them the way they are without expecting anything in return. This is something very simple. We can define unconditional love. And one thing is for sure that one needs to just find that unconditional love, but be mindful that before expecting to find that, you need to give that too. Because the more you give, the more you get. Like just universe will reciprocate with that. So let's come to the point. Today, it seems we have an incredible amount of expectation of one another. And that's something which really degrades the unconditional love standards, isn't it? So the idea of unconditional love seems to have fallen by the wayside as more and more of us want love, but are ill prepared to give in lack of required tools. Of course, we have talked so much about mindset tools. So here are the mindset tools to just find that unconditional love. I'm going to share with you all possibly 7 mindset tools to find unconditional love. So the very first tool is love is not how you feel. It is more about how you act. So we can say that it's the way we behave towards other person. And not only how we feel, we need to express that from our actions in our behaviors. So that's the very first thing. Accept the person the way they are. Here comes our A tool of love, acceptance. Okay. Now we move to the second one. Second one is adapt your love to others. Okay. Being adaptable. Like we can say that change is the only constant thing in this universe. So one who is having adaptation, he or she will easily just cope up with any changing or difficult situations. So this is the second tool of our finding unconditional love, and that's adaptation. Now we move towards third one, just give unconditionally to yourself. Now, much of the times people keep on talking about just give. It's not always about that. Like it starts from within us, within out, we can say. So first learn how to love yourself. Like if love is filled within you, you can just pour out outside of you, isn't it? So first learn to love yourself and then give it to others. Give yourself unconditional love first and the rest will come. Okay. Now, fourth tool, love can sometimes be uncomfortable. Be prepared for passing through uncomfortable situations. It's not always that comfortable and fanciful journey to have love, to give love, to receive love.
Love to receive love.
Is it echoing?
There was a
So,
slight echo, but you're fine.
okay, thank you. Thanks for your response. So, be prepared that it can be uncomfortable at times. And one needs to be ready to tackle that uncomfortable feeling and overcome it. And in other words, we can elaborate it further that pain and growth are part of life. And shielding them from this is not love. Remember, if you love someone, you can't just be overprotective towards them. And shield, just being a shield towards protecting them from each and every pain. It's not love. It's like you are hindering their growth. You need to let them face their pains and overcome that successfully as a winner so that they can learn and grow how to face difficult situations and overcome it as a winner. Now, so we can say that unconditional love requires you, just requires to let them experience pain own way so that they will find their own way to tackle with their difficulties, whichever life throws at them. Okay. Now, here comes our fifth tool, learn forgiveness. Forgiveness is something integral for finding unconditional love. But be very clear about the fact that this isn't about allowing someone to wipe their feet all over you and treat you as a doormat. Just never let that happen with yourself. That's not unconditional love. And that can never be a condition. And it's about choosing to react in a better way, a kinder way for yourself. If someone has hurt you or let you down, choose forgiveness by letting go. Resentment and just resentment and all those negative and toxic feelings you have towards them, just let them go. Let them wipe off. Don't keep that within you because that will just harm you. That's not going to benefit you in any way. And if you choose to act lovingly and not hold on to negative feelings, you will love them unconditionally. So, just like being respecting others, accepting others as well, learn to respect yourself too. Your self-esteem is very important. And no one owes the authority to just hurt that or disgrace that. So be very careful with that. Now, here comes the sixth tool. Show love to those whom you think don't deserve it. That's something really important. You know, the way you treat others says a lot about who you are. So be very graceful in treating others. That will add grace to your personality and that will help boosting your confidence. Okay. Now, our last tool is practice unconditional love with a simple act of every day, like just loving, keep loving others without expecting anything in return. Of course, taking care of your respect too at the same time. But loving and taking care of others without expecting anything in return is really something great. And be kind towards yourself as well towards others. So these were our tools. Here we come to the conclusion that accept, love, and respect without expecting. We can say that this is the gist of this, and be compassionate towards others as well yourself. And in short, we can say that we have certain have that unconditional love and to give that and that is integrity, respect, resilience. Resilience, we can say that the ability to bounce back from difficult situations, and then accept, appreciate, and being assertive. I'm using assertive here, like never So be very careful. Take care of your respect and gratitude, of course. Whatever you have, be grateful for that. Gratitude is something very important. Compassion. Compassion fills us with great sense of contentment. And be open and optimistic. So here we go. And at the end, I would like to say that the ultimate lesson all of us have to learn is unconditional love, which include not only others, but ourselves as well. Hope it's more clear now to all of you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. It was really great.
Thank you
Hello.
very much. Thank you very much. That was powerful. So many lessons there, so many practical things for us to do. And I like the way you said, show love without expecting to get it back to those who don't deserve it. Very powerful. Thank you very much. All right. So next we are welcoming Ms. Tariro Kutadza. Are you here?
I don't see her name on the list here on our side.
Okay. All right. Beatrice not yet here. As well, Manga.
Sorry, yeah, no as well.
All right.
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. So over to you.
Thank you so much. More than an build a positive as well. And membership, sorry, so you may just start again. So the person who actually have access to free mentorship, free ambassadorship with Jimha, who also have online workplace in the workplace, yes. And also we have the membership with Jimha. I hope that it makes sense, right? Okay, so I'll ask the question and here it reads. There are two main reasons of how one can build a positive mindset, of which he learned from the Lady Gita. What are those two? Please respond in the chat box so that I should announce the winner. Thank you. Okay, so we have one from Aisha Dawuda, which is energy and intention. Another one, please. There were two main reasons how one can build a positive mindset.
Maybe you can ask your question again. I think someone is asking you for you to ask your question again.
Okay, the question, there are two ways of having a positive mindset, of which Bobby Disauza mentioned in his speech. What are those two?
Oh, you've got lots of responses now.
Okay, yes, keep those responses coming. There are two main reasons. Okay. Yes, please keep those comments coming. Yes, please do keep those responses coming. The two main reasons. Mhm. Them correct and yeah. Oh. Oh. One is correct and then the other one is not. You're just close to the answers, people. Please do keep them coming. Please, please.
Some people are entering twice, so maybe there's the first and second response there.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe let me just get the one that is closer to the response.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so let me just read them. Okay, so I guess
That was fantastic. Well done. Well done. That's an amazing prize to win. Many opportunities there. That's awesome. Thank you very much, Loretta. All right. And now
students, meaning that everything have to move obviously from face-to-face to now online learning, which is remote learning. And that was quite challenging for a lot of young people, and especially vulnerable young people in that regards. And not only just the African Australian students, but students in general, who were at that time were really looking forward in terms of to do well with their schooling and so on. And then boom, the unexpected happened, which was with the whole this pandemic that we're currently in. And so on. So let's hope soon, very soon. What I found, of course, there was a lot of issues, and many issues took place within for a lot of our students, but in particular our African Australian students, because of course disengage from with obviously with those key areas that we want to focus with, such as numeracy and literacy skills. And also at the same time as well, financial issue was a big issue for them as well, especially for the parents. Many of them lost their jobs, but again, at the same time, thanks to the government as well, some parents were able to be supported to an extent. But again, that wasn't enough to to continue on with their life, obviously to take care of other stuff as well. So to focus on today, just to speak on that as well, because that is something that I deal from time to time. And many of our students, again, they come from, from a very hard hardship, but again, we'll continue to support them whenever that we can. So to keep it short again, thank you very much. I hope I hope you got something out of my talk. And again, if you have any questions or anything, please do write in the chat. And I really look forward to be working alongside with some of you in the long run. And thank you so much to the Global Youth Mental Health Awareness for welcoming me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Monga. That was awesome. It's amazing to hear what you're doing to support children. We all know the mental health effects of this pandemic have been so fantastic. And I'm sure the African drumming was a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Welcome, Tolly.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. The music performance was fantastic, brought live in my soul, as was some of the really experienced and talented people here tonight, whether they're, and hello, Tony, whether you're in coaching and otherwise. I'm actually the GMAHA's public officer, but my background is a journalist and media professional. I work in media comms, so I'm not a psychologist, not a coach, but what I do have is I bring lived experience. So somebody that's faced a little bit of anxiety in the past, as have many of us, Greek, Australian, Melburnian, I face many of the challenges that we all face. It's really finding a sense of belonging, finding a career and a challenge, and navigating all the modern day challenges that we face with our careers and so on and so forth. So the stresses, I'm not immune to stress, as I'm sure many of us are, and that's why I'm here to sort of kind of help bring sense of perspective and basically tell my story. So, but tonight I'm here really to talk about the concept of how you are not alone. So we're here in a mindset course, basically. So I'd like to start by telling a little bit of a story. So remember March 2020, it seemed like it was a lifetime ago. I remember in February, the sun was shining, everything was going very well. I was the best man at my best friend's wedding. The Victorian economy where I'm from was booming. Construction was going off and everything seemed like it was just rosy. And as they say, the cogs of life were turning and turning and everything seemed like it was all just smooth sailing from there. And then COVID happened. I remember being wrapped up in fear in front of the television screen, the news screen, watching the news every night as we were locked down and confined to our homes. Experts talking about the deadly impacts of this illness. Experts talking about the need to flatten the curve. And I felt quite scared and unsure about where we were heading. In fact, it was quite an anxious time for me. But there was one comforting feeling throughout the whole crisis. When the talking heads on television spoke about the fact that we were all in this together, or that we weren't alone. And as much as it might sound like a cliche, I knew that I wasn't alone. Yes, this was an existential crisis that society was facing. Yes, it posed a significant threat to our health and that of others around us. But that one idea was incredibly comforting. It was incredibly comforting to think that was something that we're all facing. So while all of our challenges are different and, some of us are more disadvantaged than others, some of us have different backgrounds, there is, I think if we really look at this idea holistically, it can really help us. So tonight I want to look at it through this lens. You are not alone. And there's three things that I'm going to talk about, and they're quite simple, but just a bit of a friendly reminder. Turning to others for support, getting help, and putting things in perspective. So you've all joined us tonight because you want to change your mindset, because you want to make things better. Firstly, as I said, I want to acknowledge that many of us are acknowledging different challenges, and some of us have greater support networks than others. But we can overcome our challenges. I want to say that when things get difficult, whether it's a family breakup, whether it's the loss of a family member, or sometimes something less so, there can be a tendency to isolate ourselves and to think, I don't feel like going out this weekend, even though your friends invite you, or I don't want to wake up today. I want to just sit at home and watch the telly. But this can be self-perpetuating. So my first piece of advice is that when you're going through hard times and somebody invites you to go out, no matter how bad you feel, it's worth it, because turning to a loved one, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, it can be a healthy reminder that you do have support, and it can also help reinforce those feelings of support. And second, as I said, not all of us have those support networks, but this idea of you are not alone is really to say that you shouldn't face this problem on your own. It's critical that you talk to somebody about it, whether it's a family or a friend or a psychologist. So in Australia, Victoria, the Australian government, for example, provided 20 bulk billed psychological services. And global, we've also got a lot of associations. There's many of them, and I'm sure there are many of people joining us across the globe, and in their turn, you'll find something similar. For example, Global Youth Mental Health Awareness, would be remiss if I didn't mention that one, offers a lot of support and peer support groups and just the act of getting together and when you can, talking to one another. There's also Beyond Blue, Headspace, many of them. So be resourceful. I encourage you to take action and talk to somebody about what you're facing, because nobody, no matter what their circumstances, should have to face a problem on their own. Third, I turn to this idea of putting your problems in perspective. So depression globally, according to the World Health Organization, more than 264 million people face depression. Anxiety in its turn, 284 million people have faced that. And I'm sure it's a lot more than that. That's just scratching the surface. So 284, 264, that's more than 500 people. That's almost double the population of the United States of America. And when you put this in context, it can be comforting to know that no matter what problem you face, someone else, one way or another, has faced a similar problem. Now, there's also, as I mentioned, services like Beyond Blue. If you Google personal stories, you'll find dozens of people who have overcome challenges, and that, there were times when they thought that they couldn't get over the line, like they were close, many people close to suicide, people suffering social anxiety for 10 years, people suffering agoraphobia, saying, I've never left the house, but somehow they found a way. And that in itself is inspiring to see that, say, hey, they found a way, I can too. So knowing that many people are going through the problems can be comforting. And equally on the other side, knowing that there is a better place there. So as I said, sometimes in the past year, I've thought to myself, why was I born during this pandemic? The disruption to our lives is significant. And while in Australia, there are low case numbers, many people have been significantly impacted either through their well-being, through economic prospects, or otherwise. So the whole situation is pretty rough. But when I've had those thoughts, I've thought of my grandmother and my grandfather. They're migrants, they're Greek migrants. They both passed away years ago. And I think about the challenges they must have faced. They'd gone through, in Greece, they invest a lot of money in animals, and they were going to breed those animals, and they lost a lot of money. So they thought, I'm going to go to Australia and make a better life. Then they took up jobs as cleaners and other jobs to make ends meet and give their children a better life. They never traveled anywhere other than lucky to go to Greece. They never went to concerts, and I rarely saw them eat out, if ever. So they faced a lot of challenges in their life, but they overcame them with resilience. And it's just a reminder that the difficulties in your life can be brought back with a little bit of perspective, and can be brought back by thinking those 3 simple words: you are not alone. Thank you.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Tolly. And I think most of us here can identify with those sentiments of not being alone and that process of migration, whether it's our generation or the generation before ours. So thank you for those tools, very powerful indeed. And now I'm welcoming David. David Abore.
Yeah, hello.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. And I'm most grateful to speak to the great membership of JIMHA. And my first gratitude goes to Professor Jude, because when some of us were looking at how best we can also support in our own way, we got into contact with him and his organization together with his board and team, and together we are making impact wherever we find ourselves. So, and greetings to all my members from Ghana, Africa, and the world. Yes, the topic, finding the mindsets to overcoming challenge. In fact, when I start to listen to great speakers since yesterday till now, I got to know that we need to do much for our community members and the general population. So I am going to go the practical way. Whenever I'm given the opportunity to talk on issues of such, I look at who are our target population, who are the people these messages are meant for, who do we seek to inspire, who are we speaking to change his way of thinking to better his life or her life. Our focus is to the general public. Our focus is to the people that we work with. So finding the mindset to overcome challenges is an important subject matter that should be an everyday something for each and every one of us, because first of all, you must develop an inner feeling and like for your personal self before you can even think about what happens outside. But besides then, where or what is the origin of some of these things? Yes, the origin, as we know, whatever that happens in our body happens to do with the way we think. And for us to know how we know the way we think, it has to do with our brain. And the human brain is the center of focus in this particular summit that we are talking about. To be able to sort out the way you think. I was very happy when some notable speakers spoke about positive mindset. But besides we even looking at the positive mindset, one must be able to see the positive mindsets from the negatives and be able to weigh himself above the pedigree of looking at the positivity of everything that happens. There is no human being on earth without a problem, but the way you at times solve that problem yourself together with other institutions and organizations and also resources available depend on who you are. So the origin of our mindset, it has to do with whatever thought we put in our brain, and the brain is the center of issues. How do we develop these mindsets? In order for us to develop this mindset, it has to do with what we seek to achieve at the end of it. So you could see people with low self-esteem having grave negative mindsets at the end of the day. But I know JIMHA, since its inception and interacting with most people across the world, has been able to let us know that it is always good to have a positive mindset against yourself. So how do we do all these things in a practical field? All that I say is that as an individual, you must have your self-set goals. In as much as you have your self-set goals, those self-set goals might let you have self-love for yourself. It might let you have a self-purpose for yourself. It might let you have self-directed goals. And we must also look at what at times brings about all these things. One must be able to eat well. One must be able to relate enough well with family and friends. And one must be able to self-care for him or herself. So my issue now is that there are a lot of people who have problems when it comes to mindset. Most of them could be having mental health problems. Most of them could be having problems with legal issues. And besides all these things, it comes to affect the way we think. So for us to demystify, for us to cool our minds, for us to go the positive way as this summit is looking out for, we must all put out forward that we have a purpose on this earth and we mean good for ourselves. We should build our own self-esteem. We should have these self-directed goals that is achievable. Don't set overrated goals that cannot be achieved. So my call this morning to all that will listen to me is that for us to be able to enjoy a purpose, enjoy this better future, we should set well achievable goals so that at the end of the day, we will not be challenged in our mindset. Some of us are having difficulty in our mindsets because we have overrated ambitions. So let's look at how we'll be able to fight within our corners. There is nothing little for the human brain, but whatever you want to do, is it positive for your own livelihood? Is it positive for your community? Is it positive for the entire world? Let positive thought come to your mind, execute positive thought, and you'll be positive at the end of the day. So I will not go far. I know there are a lot of panelists who will be speaking after me. All that I want to leave for members is that there is a purpose for you living on this earth. There is a purpose that you came. Whatever you think about, always look at your personal self. Whatever you think about, look at what the entire community you find yourself will also be seen from whatever thoughts you put in across. Whatever you are doing for the community, do it willingly and to the benefit of the community at large. Let's build this society. Let us look at people who are in difficulty and support them if we can. But if we cannot, that one to also affects us. People have been challenged because they want to support people whereby they don't have that capacity. But let us see how best in our own ways, in terms of giving them psychological support, giving them talk therapy, we'll be able to provide. Look, I was in this situation. This was what I did. Hey, I am not okay. You can also be okay. And let us encourage the young ones, especially the youth who are into substance abuse, who doesn't know where to go in terms of career development, and all this affects their life. Those who want to also find a meaning in their lives, let's give them that platform and be able to talk to them and be able to encourage them. I look at somebody like Professor Jude. I want to also become a professor. Though I'm about starting my master's next year, but I have the hope, I have the zeal, and I know that very soon I'll also become a professor in mental health. This is what some of us are looking at. And I know when the young ones get the opportunity to listen to people like us, people who have achieved something in life, they will also chart a path that they will also be achieving later in life. A path that will be positive, not a path that will be negative. So let's see how best we can build a unified, prosperous, and positive mindset society that will be devoid of racism, that will be devoid of hatred, that will be devoid of sectionalism, that will be devoid of probably political turmoil and stuff. We are all one. We have one purpose as human beings. There is one blood flowing now. Let's see unison in the human race, and together we'll build a prosperous society, moving forward into looking for what we want to do for the people across the globe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you. Very inspiring indeed. All the best with your studies. Thank you. And now welcome Mr. Kibe, Edwin Gitau.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome. Over to you.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to take this. Can everybody see me? I can't see my camera on. Hello.
We can see
We
you.
can see
We
you.
can see you. We can see you.
You can see me.
Yes.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity to thank the people behind the summit, Professor Jude and Jim team. You're doing an awesome job. This is truly transformative. There are so many people who are confessing that they are really benefiting from the forums. I would want to mention that we have weekly forums on Facebook Live, and I'm telling you, the impact is being felt on the ground. So thank you very much. Then I want to take this opportunity to thank the previous speakers. I believe we are learning something, and they have been really impactful. I have benefited a lot. And straight to my topic, I want to begin by saying that my topic is on how to overcome failure, overcoming failure. And this is something that I believe most of the speakers and even most of the viewers that we have today, they can confess that they have encountered failure in one time or one time in their life. And I want to start by saying that failure does not exist without success. In actual sense, it is the opposite. It is the contrast of success. So whenever you're not failing, it means you're succeeding. And today we are talking about failure in what fields? I believe most of the viewers that we have, we are addressing the youth, and they have challenges in their exams. They have challenges in their careers. Those who have just graduated from their educational institutions. And moving forward, they tend to try businesses, and also they are in relationships. And in general, we're talking about failure in life. And just like I said, that failure does not exist without success. So whenever you plan to succeed, you should always give room and think about what is likely to happen in the event that you don't achieve what you intended to achieve. In brief, or what I would want us to agree is that all of us, we have a vision. And whenever you have a vision, you set a goal. You know how to walk the journey to achieving your vision. We all know that probably in the next 5-10 years, we have positioned ourselves that I want to have achieved this much. I want to be at that level. You have those aspirations. And once you set this vision, once you set these goals, and you identify the objectives to guide you through, then always be prepared for failure, because as I started by saying, it is the opposite of success. So you should plan for it. In project management, where I happen to be an expert, we always have a topic on monitoring and evaluation, whereby you have to monitor all the progresses that you're making. You monitor all the steps that you're going through, such that in the event that you're not on the right track, then you can always revert back and see what needs to be done. So failure is an indicator of what needs closer attention, what needs more hard work, what needs that extra effort. Failure is not bad in life. Actually, it is a way of bringing you back to consider you've not put much effort in this field. You've not put much, or rather, you've not put closer attention. You've not paid the nitty-gritties of what you're doing. So what needs that extra effort? And failure also gives you an opportunity to replace wrong moves. Whatever you've gone wrong, you can replace. When you've failed, know that you need to change what you did not do right. So in brief, what I'm trying to say is that we should take failure positively, because if you don't take it positively, then in a nutshell, you're going to lose it miserably. So how do we go about overcoming failure? First and foremost is to make peace with the situation that you failed. Agree that this is something that has happened, and it's upon me now to take up the initial step, identify what needs to be done, and you make peace with the situation. Accept, don't move, don't live in denial. In short, you should not give up. You should have you should identify the purpose, because I share this bearing in mind that Professor Jude, we have worked together, and he happens to know my story. And let me say that I am a living example of failure, because previously I failed terribly. I failed terribly, and I'll share briefly on what I encountered along my way to be where I am today. I studied very well. I was supported by my parents, and I'm very glad today that they are listening to this one. And along the way, I finished high school. I went to the university. I was taken abroad. I was in India for 5 years, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Commerce, first class in accounts major. And I came back to Kenya, and I started looking for an opportunity. Now I'm addressing the youth so that you can know you have to prepare for failure. I had all that is needed in life to procure the best job ever. In fact, in my dreams, I was thinking of a 6-digit salary. So I never thought of anything short of that, because I had all that it takes. But believe you me, I was so frustrated when I came back to Kenya. I did not get what I intended to get. In my mind, what I had set, my psychological mindset, it was that I'm coming with the qualifications, I'm landing myself a good job. But I failed terribly. I did not prepare that the society that I was in, there were so many failures. There were no room for accommodation. So I slipped into alcoholism as a way of trying to run away from failure. And I lost quite a considerable amount of time in alcoholism, because I had not prepared for such kind of a failure. But today, believe you me, I overcame, I came out of it, and by the grace of God, I've achieved so much. Today, I am the Jimha Multicultural Ambassador. I'm a country director of an institution. I'm a lecturer in a university. I'm an addiction counselor. So believe you me, it's in the mind. It's in the mind how you perceive of it. Now, what did I do? What was that route? What did I follow? Because I want to share with you how you can overcome and how you can succeed in life. Number one, you should learn to emotionally and psychologically deal with failure. How do you deal with failure emotionally? First and foremost, love yourself. Be honest to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Know yourself. Have those emotional intelligence skills. Know when you're about to get angry. Know when you're happy, and how to control your anxiety. Know how to psychologically deal with failure. Accept. Actually, there are so many stages that we undergo which leads to failure. Number one, you should come out of denial. Accept that you've missed the step. Accept that you are having a failure, you've encountered failure. Come out of that denial. That is step number one. Step number two, because when you're in denial, you eventually become angry of yourself. Accept that you have failed. That is number one, come out of denial. Number two, know how to manage your anger with what has made you fail. Then, because this one leads automatically to the next step, which is depression. And once you're in depression, that is now when you start these antisocial behaviors, using drugs, using chemicals, using the prostitution, using all those negative and antisocial habits. You have to come out of that depression and start bargaining. And in the depression stage, you should seek for professional help. We are here. There are so many people who have been supported. Personally, I have been supported by professionals to come out of the depression that I was in. So I would urge all of us, the youth, and even those who are past the youth stage, accept that there is professional help that can guide you out of it. Then from there, the next step is to accept that these new changes is happening. So step number one is to learn how to emotionally and psychologically to deal with failure. Step number two, acknowledge and accept your failure. What am I saying? I gave a small story of my life, and I landed myself into alcoholism because I was trying to run away from failure. I was trying to run away from what I was going through. And in the process of running away, that's how I landed myself into the antisocial habit of alcoholism. Then, so therefore, don't run away. Always face the problem. Running away is not a solution. Don't dwell on your failure. That is step number 2 in on how to acknowledge that you have failed. Don't dwell there. When you fall down, rise up, dust off, and start running again. It's very important also to identify yourself with the failure that you're encountering. So bullet number 2, always acknowledge and accept your failure. Step number 3, take responsibility of your failures. Take that responsibility. When you fail, stop looking for loopholes, stop shifting blames, stop now looking for how you can blame somebody else, and you know very well that you are the one to blame. So take responsibility of your failures, seek for reasons, try to find out what made you to be in the situation that you're in. Seek for explanation, don't look for excuses. Seek for explanation on how what happened so that you end up in failing. Don't look for excuses. That is bullet number 3. Number 1, I said learn how to emotionally and psychologically deal with failure. Number 2, I said acknowledge, always acknowledge and accept failure. Number 3, take responsibilities, don't shift blames. Number 4, remember that failure is not the end of the world. Remember, failure is not the end of the world. Be positive about life, expect it, always live in positivism. Don't always dwell on the past. Number 5, shift your perspective and learn from failure. Shift your mental perspective. And that's why we are talking about the mindset. Shift your perspective, the way you're looking at things. Remember when I shared my story, I shared what went wrong in my life and how I ended up into alcoholism. But today, I'm an addiction counselor. What am I saying? I'm saying you should learn to make lemonade out of lemons. When it's bitter, try to get something out of it. It is a learning opportunity, and you cannot fail twice. Like now, it will be very difficult for me to fall back into it because I have been through that. It was a stage in my life. I want to believe that even Professor Jude, before he came up with this Jimha, the thought, he has encountered so many failures. I remember when we had the first summit, the first conference, in the beginning there were so many challenges. We experienced, it was a very bad beginning in the previous conference, but today he has perfected the art, and that's why we are having a successful summit. Number 6, turn your life into success. Don't dwell in the past. What am I saying? You need to know yourself. You need to know your strengths. You need to know your weaknesses, the opportunities that are around you, and the threats. Identify yourself with positivism. Know yourself. Know your potentials, because this is very key. In most cases, you find that you don't know what you're good in. You don't know what you can do better. And once you don't know that, you identify with the wrong objectives in life, with the wrong goals in life. First and foremost, know yourself. Get to know yourself emotionally, psychologically. Have that emotional intelligence. Number 2, in the sub-bullet in number turning your life into success, love yourself. Before anybody tells you that he loves you, you should have value for yourself. Love yourself and live to it. Do what pertains to good things in your life. Number 3, this is something that we always miss. Be true to yourself. Remember, if it doesn't come, if honesty is not within you, don't expect it from that other person. Be true to yourself. Be honest. What you're going through, accept and know that you have the powers to change. Number last is take responsibility of your choices. Whatever wrong move you've made, always make sure that you accept it. I will repeat what is the guide to overcoming failure. Number 1 is to learn how to emotionally and psychologically deal with failure. And I talked about denial. I talked about anger management. I talked about how to come out of depression through you seek professional help, how to accept that you have failed. Number 2 is to always acknowledge and accept failure. Don't run away from failure, because that is not a solution. Identify yourself with what has made you fail. Number 3, take responsibility of your failures. Do not shift blames. Accept. It's the only way that you can come out of it. Seek for explanations, don't look for excuses as a way of coming out of. Remember that failure is not the end of the world. That is bullet number 4. And bullet number 5 is you shift your perspective and learn from failure. I talked about making lemonade out of lemons. That is the only way, because there are some things that you may not change. I always advise my students when I'm in class that there is a prayer that I always teach them, and I always tell them it is called the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. There are those things in life that you'll not be able to change. Accept them. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change.
I think we've lost Mr. Kube.
I'm sorry, I hope you can hear me back. You have me back. So you shift your perspective and learn from failure, make lemonade from lemons, then turn your life into success. That was bullet number 6. With sub-bullets, number 1 is to know yourself, love yourself, be true to yourself and be honest to yourself, take responsibility of your choices. And I know you will definitely come out of failure. Expect it. When you set goals to become, to graduate in 3 years, to graduate in 5 years, and you face challenges, could be financial challenges, you can't be able to pay for your fees. Maybe you have issues at your family, at the family level. Always know that it is not permanent. Failure is just an indicator that you are capable of succeeding. Thank you very much. And I wish to connect with you even after this. You'll find me on Facebook. I work hand in hand with Professor Jude and the team. And thank you very much for having me on this summit. God bless you all.
Thank you very much. That was amazing. Thank you for those steps. And I think we all have some practical examples there. So at this stage, I'm going to ask that we have a group photo from the session today. So I'll invite you, if you want to be part of the photo, may you please turn on your videos, and I'll ask Monga to please turn, maybe you can turn off screen sharing just for a few seconds while we take the group photo, and put us on gallery view, so that I think Jude has someone ready to take a group photo now. So if you can turn us onto gallery view, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chipo, and thank you everyone for your cooperation. Edith, can you take us a group snapshot, please?
Yes, please. Let us just have everyone smiling.
And the next slide. Yeah.
That is fine.
Thank you, Edith, and thank you, Chipo. Thanks everyone for your cooperation.
Thank you. So now we are going to have our question and answer session. If there are any questions that you have, I will ask that you unmute yourself and you ask your question, and just let us know who you are directing your question to. I think we still have most of our guest speakers present. If you're not comfortable asking your question, please type it in the chat box and one of us will see it.
Hello, am I audible?
We can hear you, yes.
Well, hello everyone. This is Ambassador Noor Ahmed from Bangladesh. Well, I have a question to the Professor Raj. Is he available?
Is Professor Raj?
Well, no problem. I can ask a question to all. That is, yes, this world and this modern civilization, we are focusing on the empathy rather than the sympathy. So empathy, we already know what is empathy, but my question is, should we be empathic always? Because empathic, someone use this empathic situation like in a negative way. If we be empathic always or not? This is my question is, should we be empathic always? You can, anyone can answer it.
So that was the question. Should we be empathic always?
Right.
Can I answer?
Yes, please.
I think empathy is, it depends. That's a very good question because it depends on the situation. It depends on who you're feeling empathetic to. I mean, talking about if it's at a workplace, you should be empathetic to your colleagues. You should understand, you know, if they're having a bad day, maybe go up and talk to them and say, are you okay? So I think empathy is really important at a workplace because I specialize in workplace training and all these. So empathy, and I'll let the others answer the other questions because I think it depends on the situation. Yeah. Thank you. I hope that answers part of it. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Excellent. Is there anyone else who wants to add on to that question or to that response from Michelle? Or is there anyone else with a question? Anyone else? No? Yes,
Can you hear me?
We can hear
Yeah.
you.
Hello to everyone joining in from the United Arab Emirates. And I'm saying hello, thank you. Thank you for the wonderful program. I came across it on, I think on LinkedIn, and I decided to join it. I just want to know, is there going to be a certificate of attendance for this program?
Great question for Jude.
Yes, absolutely. There will be a certificate of participation, and please, as we do encourage people, you know, to send an email specifically requesting for the certificate. So we're doing that for so many reasons. So if you are here today and you need a certificate of participation to boost your resume or something else, please send me an email. My email address is jude@jimha.org. So I'll be posting more details about the Jimha contact on the chat box. And please have a look at it, shoot me an email, and you'll definitely hear from us.
All right, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jude. And as Jude reminded us, we also have the feedback form in the chat box. Maybe we can post it again now so that people can have it there. Is there anyone with a question? Anyone else?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I'm Steve from Nairobi, Kenya.
Welcome,
And
Steve.
for me is to thank you, Jinha, this wonderful program. I run a community-based organization called Boys to Men Christian Mindset Training, which is about training what is to be a man. And now that I've undergone this training, I now have the tools to work here in Kenya. So thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much for that feedback. That's wonderful to know, and keep up the good work. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah, I think someone is asking a question. No. That's all right. Well, you're very welcome to continue writing the questions in the chat box. And in the interest of time, we will just ask, we can move on to our our next speaker. And if you ask a question, we'll look at it and we'll respond after the speaker. And so our next speaker is Ame Zion. Are you here, Ame?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm here. Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
All right, can I shoot quickly?
Yes, please. Over to you. Over to you, please.
All right. Thank you very much once again for having me. I like to sincerely appreciate Professor Jude and all the executives of the Global Youth Mental Health Awareness and all partners that have made this reality. I mean, I can't thank you guys enough because of how very apt and how very important this conference is to us across the globe at this particular time. I like to also appreciate all the speakers that have spoken before me for all the very, very insightful, informative engagement that have been turning out since yesterday when this conference began. Thank you and thank you very much. I will quickly just make some few points because I know that a lot have been said. A lot of learning have taken place. And I will just quickly write on some few things that I've also learned from this conference. And then I will just make my few submissions. And I'm very, very optimistic that we will all return from this conference more informed and ready to take action at our various spaces. I would like to pick it up from the last speaker, Mr. Edwin. He spoke so much about, looking at this thing from the point of failure and how it's very important that we know ourselves. Let me begin by saying that everything we do originates from our mindset, irrespective of how the mindset was built, right? Whether from experiences, whether from knowledge that we gathered, whether from things that we see, whether from things that we feel. However, these mindsets are built or put in place, please let's understand that everything we do as individuals originates from our mindset, okay? One of the things I would quickly advise is please don't ever allow yourself to be enslaved to your mindset. Of course, your mindsets are going to be breathing from the things you believe, from your thoughts, from your feelings, right? From your emotions. But please, one of my counsels within this few minutes that I have, to all of us listening right now, and to all of us that might listen to this summit afterwards, never be enslaved to your mindset. And it brings me to talking about you must knowing yourself and mastering yourself. Mr. Edwin actually spoke so much about knowing yourself. I believe personally that it begins from there. And no wonder we have the definition of mental health to have us say that it is when an individual is able to understand his potentials, an individual able to realize his abilities. It just begins from yourself. Life begins from the inside, and that inside is you, right? That's where it all starts from. So again, my appeal to everyone on this conference, and I will be listening afterwards to the broadcast of this conference, please seek time, find time, create time, invest in knowing yourself, because that is the cradle of the formation of the building of your mindset. I like to also share some few things on the lines of failure that my friend, Mr. Edwin, mentioned. I quickly give us some few quotations that I have here, and I hope it blesses someone. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. We have that from Winston Churchill. Another one says, every adversity, every
Hello, Ame. It seems like we've lost Ame, but great points there, great learnings that we had. I'm just giving him a few more seconds to reconnect. Hello, Ame. All right. It seems like we've lost him for now, but great learnings there. And I like the final thing you just said, that the courage to continue is important.
Am I speaking here, please?
Okay, you're back now, Emma. We've lost you. You can summarize.
I'm
Yes,
sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, let me just quickly try to round up. I apologize for that loss of signal. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed .
It seems like we've lost Ame again. All right. So I think he will probably pop back on again. He was wrapping up and he had some great learning points for us there. So thank you very much, Ame, in your absence. Well, in the matter of time, I will now invite Tony to have some remarks for us today. Over
Thank
to
you, Audrey. Firstly, being an Australian, I'd like to acknowledge the Indigenous Australian people who are the traditional custodians of this land, and I'd also like to pay my respects to elders past and present of the Indigenous Australian nation, and I extend that respect to other Indigenous people who are present. Wow, what a great mindset summit we've had over the weekend. On behalf of the Jimha board, I extend a giant heartfelt thank you. Thank you, panelists, for the time and effort presenting your valuable materials. The great spirited talks delivered with so much passion, diligence, and positive energy. The valuable contributions, the pearls of wisdom. We even heard a poem and a song, which was beautiful. Thank you for what we've learnt. We've learnt what mindset is, why it is so important, what caused the mindset issues, such as lifestyle, culture, economics, and environments, and what tools we can use, such as mindfulness, managing thoughts, emotions, feelings, behaviours, character strengths, self-worth, and connecting to our true self. Next, a giant thanks to our sponsors, to Jude, Katinda, Chipotri, and the Jim team who put on such a wonderful weekend on the Global Summit. Congratulations and well done. So what are the next steps? Jimha needs your help so that Jimha can effectively serve the world. We need volunteers. We need financial support. We need more connections to expert organisations and people, and we need government resources. What can you do? You can be the change. Fill your heart with gratitude and kindness. Be the best that you can be. Expand your knowledge. Build your resources so you can help others if you can. Unite with like souls to make a positive difference. Spread your wisdom for those searching for knowledge. Make the world a better place for our children. If you are able, communicate with your government representatives and inspire them to think of ways to improve the well-being needs of your nation or community, or to help Jimha. Also, which has been mentioned, give us your feedback so we can learn and grow the global youth mental awareness programs even better. Give us that information. Please continue to support our Facebook program and future summits. Inspire others to join Jimha. The more people that we get, the stronger we get. Finally, let us join hands and find ways to implement this knowledge. Let us influence the world leaders and educate the world towards great global youth mental health needs. So just winding up, thank you. And remember, your well-being is so important, so take care of yourself. And on that note, I'll hand you back to Japindri. Thank you.
All right. So again, thank you very much. Thank you. Just a few more notices, just to remind you to please go onto our website. There are many opportunities there, a lot of information about membership, volunteers. We have a job search skills and recruitment workshop on the 15th to the 19th of March, which is in a few weeks' time. We also have a special general meeting coming up. So all this information will be available on our website. Please continue to follow us and support us on social media and complete the SurveyMonkey feedback forms. The link to that has been posted onto the chat box. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next activities. So, I'm not sure who's saying hello, but thank you very much. Take care, and we'll see you again. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.